Napoli fans around the world, welcome to Napoli Talk. Guys, we won. It's the second live where Napoli won, and it was a good game. 4-1 against Cagliari, a very potentially difficult game against a team that is struggling. They conceded a lot of goals this year. I think only Torino conceded more goals, just one more than Cagliari. And these are the teams that I worry about the most because these are the teams that need to make points. But Napoli, they went there. They digested all the food that they ate over the last few days. I'm sure they had a lot of good desserts. I'm in Naples right now. I know what kind of stuff you can get here. They went there, digested everything, played well, played for Gattuso. Gattuso finally without an eye patch and scored 4 goals. And some crazy things happen in this game, guys. Some really crazy things that we'll go over. Obviously, we're going to have to first read some of the messages that you guys have left in the chat over the last few minutes. So let's see what you guys are saying here. Everyone is talking about Chucky. Guys, not everyone here is going to know what this is about. So I encourage everyone to read up on that. But yes, we needed this win so much, as Salvatore is saying, as Vizavis is saying, and Vizavis is saying live after a win. Ramani played. We got a penalty. Let's not forget that we scored basically from a corner. Let's count Lozano's goal as scoring from a corner, and Cagliari got a red card against Napoli. Guys, can you believe it? And it wasn't even a killer foul. It wasn't anything like that. It was a foul that was a second yellow, but nothing scandalous. It's the things that you'd expect to get a red card from as a second yellow if you're a team that's not called Napoli. But for us, it was a good way. It was finally a red card for us. Let's see what else people are saying. Dante Esposito is saying we have 3 options: lose, win by 1, or win by an incredible amount of goals. That's true, guys. We don't have a lot of draws this tournament. I think maybe just 1 draw. We'll see it when we look at the table. Something like 1 or 2 draws. And yeah, it's either we score 4 goals. So we scored 4. Guys, we scored 4 now against Cagliari. We've scored 4 against Crotone. We've scored 4 against Roma. We've scored 4 against Atalanta. And so it's either that or nothing. And in all 4 of those games, there's been some key players that have played really well. I'm thinking Lozano. I'm thinking Insigne. I'm thinking Zielinski. Obviously, maybe one or 2 of these players have missed those games, but whenever we did have a big win, those players stepped it up. So yeah, very good from Napoli. They need to be a bit more consistent with this sort of stuff. And for anyone that's wondering why my setup has changed recently, it's because I'm still in Naples, guys. I came here for the holidays, but I'm flying back to the UK, so you'll get the Napoli background as usual. So don't worry about that. Let's see. Salvatore is saying, did anyone think Chucky would be our leading goal scorer this season after how last year went? I've been a big believer in him, just needing time, but this is exceeding expectations. 100%, guys. As in 100% exceeding expectations. I thought definitely Lozano could have done a lot more than what he showed last season, but something in me was saying, give him one more time, give him one more season, because, guys, think about it. Last season, Lozano came at the very end of the transfer market. He had no time to settle with the team. Immediately thrown in the deep end. 2 months in, we had the mutiny with Ancelotti. The team was divided. The dressing room was divided. We didn't know who to blame. And it was just a very toxic situation. And he was playing out of position, guys. So Lozano last season entered a context which was not ideal for any player. Any player would have struggled. And I think Lozano was also a scapegoat in a lot of games, a lot of situations. At the same time, he wasn't playing well. That's for sure. I'm not excusing some of last season's performances, but I remember him in the 2018 World Cup. I remember what kind of player he was. There's a reason why Ancelotti wanted him. There's a reason why Napoli paid the money that they paid. And yeah, so I always thought that maybe with a preseason done properly, with a coach that believes in him, because Gattuso does believe in him, that Lozano could recover quite a bit. So, but yeah, top goal scorer? No, honestly, I didn't think he'd be this important. I thought he'd be fighting with Politano a lot more for that space on the right. In fact, if you see some older videos, I was saying how he was maybe going to be the fifth option. So, congrats to Lozano. He's definitely our top player this season. Let's see. ID saying Chucky was mid, to be honest. He missed a lot of chances. Yeah, that's true. But guys, he scored the 3-1 goal. He's at the right place at the right time. Scores 3-1, and that kills the game for Cagliari. So that's super important. And he got the red card. He provoked the red card for Cagliari. He got several other yellow cards, which compromised the performance of some other key players. I'm thinking of Sotil. I'm thinking of maybe even the first yellow card for the player that was the Greek player that was sent off. I think maybe that was Lozano as well. So just very good, a very good game by Lozano, and yeah, just a good overall result for Napoli. We needed this, guys, after such a difficult 3 games against Inter, Lazio, and Torino, where we picked up 1 point and barely 1 point against Torino. We needed this. Let's see what else. Someone else. Andrew Gramolini is saying the situation with Osimhen is honestly stupid. Okay, time to talk. Time to talk about Osimhen, guys. All right. Osimhen, there's no excusing what he did. Okay, he's 22. He's not 18. He's not 17. He's 22. Okay, there's people out there with families at 22, so there's no excuse. He's a grown man. He's not. I don't even think he's a kid anymore. He's a grown man, 22. The thing is that while it's his fault, it's also the club's fault. It's also his agent's fault. Let me explain, guys. As a club, you invest 70 million euros on a player that for majority of his life is starving. Guys, he was starving. He was picking up water bottles and selling them on the streets of Lagos in Nigeria. He was struggling, and all he's known is poverty, right? All of a sudden, Napoli come in, they give him 4 million a season. This guy, he's gonna, if he's not followed by the club, if he's not followed by his agent, but if they don't put someone next to him to follow him in this development, then it's their fault as well. We can't expect too much from Osimhen, is what I'm trying to say. Because Osimhen it's an asset of the club. He's an asset of the agent. The agent obviously wants to sell this guy on in the future, or wants to make more money out of him one way or another, maybe increase his salary. And if you have a player that is so fragile because of his background, then you need to make sure that you support him, because otherwise this asset is going to lose value. I'm not sure if you guys are going to agree with this, but because Napoli couldn't tell him don't go to Nigeria. They couldn't tell him don't do this, don't do that. Everyone's free, but maybe they need to mentor him a bit more. Let's see what else you guys are saying. And the other thing about the fine with Osimhen. So Napoli came out because Sky Sport Italia before the game said that they had fined Osimhen. Napoli said they hadn't fined Osimhen. That doesn't mean they won't fine Osimhen. It's just that it's something that they have to deal with separately. First, I think he needs to recover. It's not fair to fine him right now. Let him first recover. Number one is health. After he's recovered, then we can talk about fines. Okay? And I'm sure De Laurentiis will do it, but I'm not sure that he'll go out and make a statement about how much the fine is, how much it's not. So, and let's see what else you guys are saying. Let's see here. Osimhen flexing cash in the middle of a pandemic is the last thing I expect to see, to be honest. Yeah, guys, it's very bad for Osimhen. I mean, guys, Osimhen, him doing that is also disrespectful to his fellow compatriots in Nigeria. guys, I mean, Nigeria is a poor country, unfortunately. Great people. You shouldn't be flexing that kind of money. He needs to be a role model for these people. And yeah, it's just sad what Osimhen did. But I think we've covered it. Let's not talk about it too much. He made a mistake. I'm sure he won't do it again. I'm sure the club will learn from this. I'm sure he'll learn from this, and his agent will learn from this as well. But Napoli need Osimhen, so let's not crucify him, because if it starts affecting his performance on the field, then that's bad for us. So let's not kill him for this, okay? Let's see what else. Let's see what else we're saying. Let's see. Danny Bum 2.0 is saying, Dante saying sound is very low, can hardly hear. Guys, I don't know what's going on with the whole sound situation here, but I need to sort this out. I'll try to be closer to the microphone. Sorry for this, guys. If it's a really big problem, I'll try to use my desktop audio instead. But yeah, I'm trying to sort out the sound issues. Let's see what else we're saying. Danny Baum is saying Zielinski scored two very good goals and he saved us. Yeah, 100% he saved us. Zielinski is easily becoming Napoli's most important player. Maybe on par with Insigne and Lozano this season. And Zielinski, I think, he's the one player, in my opinion, that has the potential to be world class for Napoli. And I'm talking De Bruyne level. I'm talking, nominated for top 30 footballers of the year level. He's easily got everything you need. Technically, beautiful to watch. He's starting to score goals. He's assisting, and it's not even stupid goals. He's doing really good goals. Stuff that people are gonna be seriously interested in him. These videos of him, they're gonna go around social media. Clubs are gonna be interested, and yeah, it's really good. It's really good for us. Really good for Zielinski finally taking on the responsibility. And I think the one thing that he does really well is that he gets forward a lot, and he looks at going forward, and he doesn't do like what Fabian does or what Bakayoko does, which is always pass back. Zielinski, even in the most difficult situations, will take the ball, dribble a few guys, and try to go forward. And that's, I think, the number one thing that he does really, really well. Alessio Bianco is asking, who do you think is the most underrated and overrated Napoli player? That's difficult, guys. Overrated Napoli player. It's a difficult one, because I don't think there's any player that is seriously overrated for Napoli, because we're a very tough crowd to please. So whenever a player isn't performing well, we'll immediately point that out, and so it's hard to be overrated in an environment like Napoli. Having said that, I'll have to think about that. Maybe Manolas. Maybe. I think a lot of importance is given to Manolas. I honestly think that he's not that important. As in, he's not at the level that Albiol was. He's not at the level Koulibaly is. But a lot of people are, they praise him quite a lot. To be fair, he has a good game, but he's never really made the difference for us. He's not as important for us as he was for Roma, is what I'm trying to say. I think if we had someone like Maksimovic playing in his place, as we did for a lot of the time last year, Napoli wouldn't suffer from that too much. Obviously, Maksimovic now this year, he hasn't renewed his contract. He's running out with his contract, and so his performances are dipping because of that. But prime, or not even prime Maksimovic, but a Maksimovic which is fully committed to the cause, he is as good as Manolas. So that's, I think, the most overrated player. Not saying he's bad, I'm saying he's overrated. Most underrated player, I think I think the most underrated player. Uh, it's a difficult one. I think Zielinski maybe is the most underrated. I think recently, over the last 2 3 months, Zielinski starting to get the praise of a lot of people, but he's been at the club for a very very long time, Zielinski, and it's only been a few months that people are starting to put him at the same level as people like De Bruyne and all that. But he's been class for us. He's just been a little bit inconsistent, but whenever you see him play, he's just a beauty to watch. So I think those are the most under and overrated, and we really feel the absence of Zielinski when he's not in the team, even if he doesn't score or assist in that game. But just the ability to pass the ball forward is crucial for us. And this brings me to my player ratings, which I'll put above here. I've put Zielinski 8, Insigne 7, Lozano 7. I thought there were 3 great players today, and then 2 players that I think didn't play that well were Mario Rui in this game and Maksimovic. I know I just praised Maksimovic, but I also said it's because of his condition with the contract renewal, and it's difficult for a player of Maksimovic's size to just come into the team once every 5 games, But if you get Maksimovic the consistency that he needs, then he's going to perform as good as Manolas, for example. Mario Rui today, instead, was horrible. Mario Rui's right foot was almost embarrassing. He had 2 good chances to score with his right foot. Basically, the keeper was nowhere to be seen in both chances. He was on the ground, the keeper. Mario Rui, from just outside the box, could have easily curled that in. Just a simple pass almost into the goal, but couldn't do it. His crosses were bad. He was distracted most of the game. So Mario Rui for me was the worst player in the game for sure. Vesavius is saying Fabian is the most underrated by Napoli fans. I was debating Fabian in my head, Fabian and Zielinski. I think there's a misconception with maybe Napoli fans that midfielders are just there to assist and score goals, but that's not necessarily true. It depends, because if they put people in the right conditions to assist or score goals, then they're very useful. And Fabian, when he's playing really well, then he's easily one of the top 3 on the field. And today, Fabian had a really, really, really good game. He definitely didn't deserve a 7 as much as Lozano, Insigne, or an 8 like Zielinski, but 6.5 for sure. And people are quite harsh on him. He's obviously reading all the comments that people write about. It's obviously affecting him, but he's a good player, because when he goes to play with Spain, then he's someone completely different. But I think a lot of it is down to also his motivation maybe to stay with Napoli. I think he's eyeing a move to Spain. So, we'll see how that goes, obviously. Shafiq is saying, Ramani, first appearance in blue. Thoughts? Well, he didn't really get to do that much. It was 10 minutes where Cagliari had given up. We were 4-1 up or 3-1 up at that time. But it's good that at least Gattuso knows where he sits on the bench, guys, because I was starting to think that maybe Ramani was sitting somewhere else, or Gattuso just didn't even know he existed, but apparently he does, okay? So who knows, maybe he'll start getting a few more minutes, and hopefully see him at least in the Coppa Italia again against Empoli on the 13th, which is just 10 days away. So that's potentially the game that he'll get his first start, and that's when I think we can give a better assessment of how he's doing. But as Anthony Giampaolo says, it's too little time for an opinion on Ramani. Andrew saying Jorginho's good but wouldn't want him back. Guys, Jorginho is such a talented player. I would love him back at Napoli. He didn't break up badly with the Napoli fans, with the Napoli team. He still has friends here. I think he'd like to be back. I think basically with Ancelotti coming to Napoli and telling him, you're not part of this project, he was forced into going towards Chelsea and Manchester City. And obviously, at that time, he was worth 60 million. There was a club that wanted him for 60 million, and what are you going to do? Not sell him? But if he would want to come back, I would love him back. Even though I do think that maybe we need some younger players as well, because Jorginho's now reaching his late 20s, maybe he's already 30, and De Laurentiis doesn't really like to buy those kind of players. Vetsu Oji is saying Fabian is a very good player, but the problem is that this season he isn't reaching the height that he did in last season. Yes, that is a bit because maybe he preferred playing with Ancelotti. A bit is also because, as I said, these transfer rumors. But a bit it's also, guys, football players, they're humans. Sometimes they dip, sometimes they play better, sometimes something happens in their private life. Fabian, I'm sure that he's only 23, 24. I'm sure that in his career, whether that's in Napoli or somewhere else, he's going to reach higher levels than what he's currently doing now, because he is capable of so much more. But there's also the other aspect where some players, they reach a certain level when they're young, and then it's not like they keep improving. Some players, they reach their peak at 23 and then they disappear. But I think Fabian has enough quality, and he's not a hothead, so he's got those two things going for him, where I think he can still develop. Maybe somewhere different, maybe back in Spain, but he's going to be a player that is going to be very important in European football for the next few years. They're asking, who would you buy in this mercato? Guys, this mercato, I would definitely buy a left back. I mean, you still see the player ratings up above. 5 to Mairo Rui. Gulam came on. Gulam, I don't think he's enough for Napoli at the moment. I think he's well past his prime. So I think definitely we need a left back. Number one priority, 100% left back. And I really like Emerson, but just because he's a proven footballer. He's played for Chelsea. He's got Champions League experience, and most importantly, part of the national team. Speaks Italian. Very good link up with Insigne. These are all factors that are important. Where, when you get someone else like Tagliafico, Junior Firpo, and other players, they're also very good. I wouldn't mind that at all. But there's a bit more element of surprise with those players. We don't know how they're going to adapt to Italy, to Italian, to Insigne. Whereas with Emerson, we know exactly, or more exactly, how that's going to be. So I would go for Emerson, and I don't think he's even going to be that expensive. I think 10 million, and he'd be sold by Chelsea, or De Laurentiis can somehow make a deal similar to the Bakayoko one, where we get him on loan for a year or two, because Napoli and Chelsea have a very good relationship. We sold Jorginho to Chelsea. They gave us Bakayoko. So these sort of deals happen. And talking about deals, the volume, if I'm screaming into the microphone, sorry, but I'm trying to adjust the volume here with my voice. But talking about players and different contract situations and different deals, I also just want to touch up on Milik. So Milik, he apparently is being... basically Atletico Madrid are interested in Milik, and Marseille. These seems to be the two teams most interested in Milik. And from what I've seen and what I've heard, Atletico Madrid have offered 5 million to Napoli for Milik. Obviously, Napoli wants a bit more. And at the same time, Marseille have also tried offering something to Napoli, maybe a bit more, but Milik would rather go to Atletico Madrid, which is, in my opinion, the wrong move for Milik, because let's be honest, Milik right now, what he needs to do is he needs to play. There's no point in going to Atletico Madrid and being the reserve of Suarez. Even though, obviously anyone would, I think, prefer Atleti over Marseille. But what Milik needs right now is to play. He needs to have game time. He needs to score goals, get his confidence back because he's got the Euros. So I think once he starts thinking about this a bit more, when his agent starts thinking about this a bit more, they'll realize maybe that Marseille might be the better option for him. They've also got a very good coach in Villas-Boas, a coach that has trained people like Drogba. So someone like Milik, I think, when he thinks about it, he's going to accept that Marseille offer, which is also better for Napoli. I'd be very surprised, in any case, if Milik stays for another few months at Napoli, because I don't think that's good for Napoli. I don't think that's good for the player, and I don't think whatever club is going to get Milik, I don't think Napoli are going to appreciate that very much. And between clubs, you don't want these sort of animosities for nothing. You definitely don't want it for just not having paid those extra 5 million to get Milik right now, because one day it happens to Napoli, the next time it might happen to that club, and clubs, they don't like to do these kind of things to each other, in my opinion. What else are we guys saying? IDB is saying Thauvin is cheap too. Exactly. They have a player, Marseille, Thauvin, who is a French international, very good left wing, likes to cut inside, and he's also running out on his contract, and that's going to be a very interesting situation if Napoli and Marseille decide to switch players. And those are the kind of things that clubs want to do, because it helps both clubs out, it improves their relationships, and that's really what clubs aim to do. Let's see what else we're saying, but there's still not much official news regarding that. And yeah, him in Olympique de Marseille, as the LPRLZ is saying, it's a win-win, because they need a striker, we need a right winger or a left winger, because we've got only Insigne really over there, and two clubs who basically don't lose out on giving a player away for free without getting anything back. So it's a win-win. I'd be surprised if the Marseille thing doesn't go through. But as other people are saying, let's forget about Milik. That's really his issue right now. So what else have we got? Why are we interested in wingers? Aren't we pretty much set in this position? Visavius is saying, guys, the issue is that we've got actually three, I would say, wingers. 3 out-and-out wingers. And that's Politano, Insigne, Lozano. So you've got Lozano and Politano playing on the right and Insigne on the left. And then you've got players who can adapt. So you've got Elmas, you've got Zielinski sometimes, you've got Mertens sometimes. But a team that has 3 different competitions, potentially Champions League next year, Coppa Italia, Serie A, who wants to take all 3 seriously, they need actual players in those positions, like people who are a left wing playing left wing when Insigne is not around, not Elmas adapted there, because Elmas, in my opinion, is a very good player, but I see him more as a number 10. I see him more even in midfield rather than on the wing. But yeah, and I definitely see Elmas as maybe someone that if we sell Fabian, then Elmas is going to try to take that position in the midfield. In any case, it's not even about whether we need a winger or not. I don't think Napoli are going to, die desperately or, pull their hair out if they don't get a winger. It's not about that. It's about making sure that you don't sell a player or you don't lose a player for free like Milik, and instead you get something back in return. And if we get this Thauvin guy from Marseille, at least one day we can sell him on for even just 10 million, 10, 15, if he has a few good games for Napoli. So it's about preserving your, I guess, your assets. It's about making sure you can make some money out of the situation, rather than desperately needing a winger. Let's see what else. Dries Mertens on the line. Bro, you got to turn up the audio. I've got you on max. I can barely hear you. Guys, let's I'm going to try something, okay? I'm going to switch the audio to my computer audio because maybe the mic is broken. So, I hope this goes well. I hope is this audio better? Let me know in the comments if this audio is better. Let me know, guys. Much better. Okay. Okay, guys. I'm just gonna do it from my computer. Sorry, guys. Technical difficulties here. It's not even my microphone that I'm using, so I'm on vacation right now. So yeah, sorry if this hurt your ears now that the audio all of a sudden became louder. But I would say now's a good time to go into looking at some of the stats of this game. We haven't really talked about the game very much, but let's see here. So obviously, guys, Napoli 4-1 against Cagliari. Joao Pedro getting a goal. He's having a brilliant 2020. This must be about his 10th goal maybe of 2020, and playing as a number 10 for a team like Cagliari. That's obviously very good for Joao Pedro right now. For us, we've got Insigne, Lozano, and Zielinski with 2 goals. And if we look at the stats, I mean, we absolutely crushed Cagliari. 34 shot. This is in Italian, guys, but what it says here is 34 shots against 8, 12 on target, and 600 passes, 93% accuracy, and 8 corners. Finally, we scored off a corner, guys. And this brings me to Petagna, because it was Petagna controlling the ball in the box and releasing it for Lozano to score. And it was also him doing that for Zielinski's first goal. So even though Petagna didn't have a good game, he was basically inexistent. At least he contributed for 2 goals, and maybe the most important 2 goals. We've got the first goal that unlocked the game, and then the 3-1, which sorry, there's some bells going on. There's a church behind me, guys, and yeah. Don't worry, guys. I'll be back in the UK in a few days, where I'll be back in my normal setup and studio. But yeah, Petagna had a very, very good game, and yeah, I'm not sure if you guys can hear the bells, but yeah, Petagna had a very good game. Sorry, Petagna had a very average game, but 2 very good contributions. And now, if you look at the table, guys, we've got Napoli in 4th spot. Obviously with a game in hand against Roma, and we could potentially go to 31 points. Inter won 6-2 against Crotone. Crotone just gave up in the second half. Sassuolo dropped points, and Atalanta, they won, and they're at 25 with a game in hand as well. But this is very, very tight at the top, and it's going to be interesting today. The whole Milan-Benevento game, because Benevento are a strong team. Surely right now they're actually already started the game, so maybe it's worth doing a quick Google check to see how Milan are doing. So 1 second, guys. So it's 0-0. They just started the game. It's a game to look out for, guys, the Benevento-Milan game, because Benevento are playing really well. So that's how it is. And yeah, just overall, as you can see from the stats, a very, very good performance. What else are you guys saying, guys? By the way, sorry for the audio in the past few videos. I'll promise to sort that out. Matt Marco saying, I wouldn't say it's better just because it's louder. Yeah, I know it's coming from the computer, but guys, I'll sort this out. Don't worry. Cleto is saying for me, it sounds like I'm in a swimming pool and I use iPhone 11. Okay, guys. How about this? I'm gonna end the live stream because I don't want to do a live stream where the audio is horrible. But I'll sort it out. Next video will actually be back in the UK, so I'm gonna have my own setup again. Audio is gonna be working fine, and I also have a very good few videos lined up that I think you guys are gonna like. I went and bought I got gifted the Maradona shirt a few days ago. So I'm going to make a video about that as well. You guys are going to get to see a bit of Naples and the process of actually making the Maradona shirt, where they print out the Andrew's saying you guys bullied him into ending the stream. No, it's fine, guys. It's not you guys didn't bully me into ending the stream. It was just I want to have a certain quality in my videos, and I feel bad when they're not that quality. So it's more about me. I don't want to be releasing something that is not to the level that I wanted, because I think you guys have, over the past few weeks, I think you guys have noticed how I've been trying to improve some things in the videos here and there, and I just want to keep doing that. If I'm going backwards, then I'm gonna stop as early as possible before people think that this channel is useless. So but having said that, guys, do me a solid one and smash that like button and go on the Insta page, because my memes are fire. So go on the Insta page. It's official Napoli Talk, not the other Napoli Talks out there. Official Napoli Talk. You can see Fabian as a turtle. You can see other memes here and there. So go check out the Insta page, and if you have Instagram, and smash that like button. Guys, I will really try to improve the audio here. It's a shame, but it is what it is. Anyways, guys, today we dominated the game. That's the most important thing. We got away with the 3 points. And yeah, penalty for us. We scored from a corner. Petagna, 2 assists, even though he did nothing in the game. And then we've got some important matches in January. We've got Coppa Italia, which is always important because it's a knockout game. So let's not underestimate Empoli just because it's a Serie B team. That's a knockout game. So you mess that up, you're out. And then we've got Juventus, the final to play. And then we've got Juventus as well, potentially to play as that game that we need to recover against them. So people are saying good content on the Instagram. Okay, yeah, so guys, follow the Instagram. I like doing these memes. I'll try to do one every day, one every 2 days, something like that. Obviously, I can't make a video out of every situation, but I can definitely make a meme about it. So follow the Instagram. People are saying, don't mind the audio that much. Your content is great. Guys, the audio is something I need to work on. But and I appreciate you guys being honest about it, because if you guys don't tell me, then I don't improve on that. So let me know. I don't take any offense on that. So yeah, no worries with that. Don't don't worry about that, guys. But yeah, as Fernando Jimenez said, we scored from a corner, guys. I mean, I made a meme about it the other day saying how we never score from a corner, but it happened. So, maybe my memes bring a bit of good luck. So Cleto is saying, I don't know why you have only 739 subscribers. Maybe my audio. See, I bully myself at times. So guys, I mean, YouTube, to be honest with you guys, it takes time. I think on average it takes about 22 months to get to 1,000 subscribers when you're starting off from zero, no other social media platform, nothing. So I'm quite happy. It's only been 6 months that I've been doing this, so I'll take all 739 of you, and hopefully a few more come in, and who knows when my mic improves a bit, or I sort out my audio settings on these live streams, then maybe a bit more. But yeah. Anyways, guys, I think I'll end it. I think I'll end it there. Diego Mark. Okay, well, I can't end it there because Diego Marquez just entered. So he's saying, what are the player ratings? Diego, 7 to Lozano. I think you'll appreciate that one. I remember Diego many months ago commenting on one of my videos saying Lozano will prove you wrong this season, and he's right. So, congrats to Diego for believing in Lozano, and I'm happy for Lozano. I'm happy for all of Mexico, who they really like Lozano, and rightly so. And I think he's a good player, very important for them, and hopefully he can do for Napoli what he's been doing with the Mexican national team for quite a while now. So yeah, that's the player ratings right now. Yeah, guys, thank you for joining the live stream. I read all your comments, and I try to improve on stuff like the audio, which has been lacking in recent videos. Yeah, smash that like button if you haven't. It helps out with the whole subscriber count thing. And yeah, guys, let's just enjoy this win after such a long wait. It's been almost a month, maybe 21 days since our last win. So let's enjoy it. Let's hope Milan drops some points. And yeah, and I'll see you guys on the next one, maybe for a very special video. So peace.